Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome back to day 21 of our 25 Drams of Christmas. Day 21, that means we're only 4 days away from Christmas. That's crazy. It's Saturday. That means we are doing a different expression other than bourbon or rye. We're moving on to an Irish today. And this isn't just any Irish whiskey. This is Redbreast 12 Cask Strength. I love this whiskey. Full disclosure, coming out right now saying it, I love this whiskey. Redbreast is made by Middleton. So Middleton is the parent company. Redbreast has a whole bunch of different expressions. They've got the normal 12, Listowel, Redbreast 21, which actually Ed from Rock Gut Review, he actually gave me a sample of this down in Texas, the 21. Have not tried it yet, but I will be reviewing that down the road. Ed's doing a whiskey advent calendar too, so make sure you check that out. We're going to be talking about the 12 Cask Strength today, and I'm super pumped to get into this. Now, unlike bourbon, unlike rye, this is a single pot still whiskey. So pretty much what this is, it's made in a pot still, and they mix malted and unmalted barley to make this whiskey. Now, this is cask strength, as I mentioned, so it's uncut. It's also non-chill filtered, so they don't filter anything out of this whiskey. It's all natural the way it's supposed to be, and that's fantastic. I love that. The other thing with Irish whiskey is legally they are allowed to add coloring or caramel coloring if they want to. This is not the case with this. They did not add any caramel coloring. This is all natural, what they get right out of the barrel. So let's look at the color on this first. This is a nice hefty pour I did on this. Just the oiliness on the glass, first of all. Just sticking to this glass is just crazy. So thick. It's really a honey color in my light though. A little darker than like a white wine, but I'd say more of a honey. Very light copper, I guess is what I would describe it as, but the thickness and the oiliness is just crazy. A lot of legs on this whiskey. It's going to be good, I think. My bottle I have is a 56.2%, so very respectable proof. I mean, that's excellent. So let's go right into the nose here first. I didn't mention, I don't think, that this is sherry finished. So Redbreast, they do sherry finish their whiskey, so that'll bring out different notes as well. But initially on the nose, this is just amplified buttery goodness. I mean, it's definitely, you can definitely tell it's not a bourbon, it's not a scotch. I mean, there's something different about it. For those of you who have not had Irish whiskey, it's very distinct and completely different spectrums than you'd expect from a bourbon or a scotch whiskey. But it's really like a buttery croissant. I mean, on the nose it is. It's a buttery croissant. Very bready. I described the croissant, but it's just that breadiness, that oiliness you get from a croissant when you bite into a croissant. Even just on the nose, you can tell it's got that viscosity and that thickness. Definitely picking up a lot of fruits on this as well. So, dried fruits. I'm talking like raisins, plums, even some lighter fruits too, like pears, apricots maybe. It's tough for me to distinguish apricots from pears and peaches and things like that. So those types of fruits, you know. I'm no expert doing this, but my gosh, that butteriness on the nose is just incredible. Let's go into the taste on this. Cheers, everybody! Happy day 21. Oh. Wow. First sip of the day. My eyes are watering a little bit. My tongue got a little bit of tongue shock there, so I'm going to take another sip real quick. Before even going into tasting notes, let me just say the mouthfeel, the mouth coating, and just the finish is just phenomenal. It's literally just sticking to the sides of the palate. That oiliness we saw in that glass coming through on the palate big time. All those dark, deep, rich fruits are coming through very nice. But honestly, as a bourbon drinker, there's a lot of bourbon notes in here too. So actually a lot of vanilla, caramel, toffee, quite a bit of toffee coming through on this for me. I think that all has to do with that sherry finishing. But I mean, the dark, rich fruits, the butteriness, it's almost like a Christmas dessert. What do they call it? Like a Christmas cake? Is that what they call those things? Fruit cake. That's the word I'm looking for, fruit cake. It's like a fruit cake in the glass, but it's so much creamier and more buttery. It's like a very rich, very moist fruit cake. So good. With Irish whiskey, the classic kind of Irish profile note is that what I just call a pot still metallic note. That sip there gave me that metallic note. Previous to that, I didn't really get that at all. Your whiskeys like Jameson whiskey, I get that heavy. Tullamore Dew, I get that metallic note a lot as well. Came through very slightly on the Redbreast 12, the cask strength. Just a tiny bit, which I'm not a massive fan of that metallic pot still note myself. A lot of people enjoy that. That's one of the reasons they like Irish whiskey to begin with. Me, that's not the main reason, but let's go one more sip. I think I'm doing one extra, but let's do it anyway. It is just a buttery croissant spread with like strawberry raspberry jam. It's great stuff. Great stuff. When I first purchased this bottle, which was probably going on 7-8 months ago now, I immediately fell in love. I've had the Redbreast 12. I didn't buy a bottle of it, the regular Redbreast 12. I jumped right into the cask strength. And boy, am I glad I did. I mean, this was on the recommendation of a lot of people in the whiskey community that recommended, hey, go for the cask strength, being the type of stuff I like, the high proof stuff. And it was just an excellent pickup. Locally for me, I got it for $70, so it is not a cheap whiskey. But I was comparing the cask strength. I want to say cask strength was like 75. It was 65 for me to get the regular Redbreast 12, so it was no comparison for me for going a little bit higher to get it, I have heard other parts of the country are more expensive than that and other parts are less. To me personally, I would pay $75 for this whiskey. I really do enjoy it that much. I think it's worth the value. It's high proof, so Irish whiskey is a beautiful thing in cocktails too. I actually did an Irish whiskey cocktail night around St. Patrick's Day last year, and that was a lot of fun. We made some cocktails with just Irish whiskey. And it's very versatile in cocktails, and especially being like a cask strength expression. If you ever did want to dare to use this in a cocktail, I guarantee it would probably hold up really well. I love tasting my whiskey in my cocktails, and this would be a really good whiskey for it. So, if you can find Redbreast 12 cask strength, or if you're curious about jumping into Irish whiskey anyway, and you're used to the proof, you're used to some higher proof stuff, this is going to be the one you want to pick up first. It is. If you want something that's going to give you that amplified, full flavor you love, go for the Redbreast 12 cask strength. It's going to be a great whiskey for you. Thank you all so much for joining me for day 21 of our 25 Drams of Christmas. I hope you all have been enjoying this series. I'm having a great time filming this. Loving doing these every day. Tomorrow we have a really, really good whiskey. Probably my favorite whiskey on the market that I can actually attain. It's gotta be. Everything about this whiskey is just in my wheelhouse. Let me know what you think we're going to be drinking tomorrow. Let me know, have you had any Redbreast products before? Have you had the cask strength? Have you tried the regular 12? If not, what's your favorite Irish whiskey if you've had one? Have you had Irish whiskey? What do you think about it compared to bourbon, compared to scotch? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. I appreciate you all hanging out. I will see you tomorrow. It's going to be a fun one. Stay insane, everyone.